Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all from St. Dominic's College who've joined us today for the IELTS orientation by British Council. My name is Aditya Venkataraman and I am part of the British Council IELTS team. I would like to thank Dr. Ansi Joseph, your principal, and Mrs. Lekha for giving us the chance to address you all today on the IELTS. So this presentation will last roughly about 30 minutes where I will share with you about British Council and cover topics like the reach of IELTS, the format of the test, the resources that are available, and finally at the end we will open the floor for any doubts or queries that you may have. A few ground rules I would like to share. Those of you who are not talking, please put your mics on mute at all times. Feel free to post any doubts or queries that you have during the session in the chat box, and my colleagues or I will answer them as possible. So my colleagues are also there on this call who will assist in case I have any technical glitch. So feel free to monitor the chat box and also post anything that you want to ask us there. So let's get this started and make the session as interactive as possible. Let me begin with talking about the British Council. So we have over 80 years of experience of language teaching and building trust between cultures worldwide. We are experts in language assessment and are celebrating over 70 years of British Council presence in India. We have excelled in developing language testing for a good many number of years now, and this is evidenced by our unparalleled experience in testing and in the range of English language tests that we administer around the world. By means of IELTS, we open doors for international candidates and also in the range of services that we offer overseas. IELTS also helps us achieve positive impact through our culture relations agenda. So I'm going to quickly play a short video on who we are as the British Council and the work that we do across the regions. Alright, so that was about the British Council. Now, can anyone tell me what IELTS stands for? Unmute yourselves and answer, or you can always type your answers in the chat box. What does IELTS stand for? I'm sure somebody might know that.
International English Language Testing System.
That is great. Thank you. That's the right answer. So IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. So if you're looking to work, study, or live abroad, then taking an IELTS test can help you make that dream come true. IELTS is the world's most popular English proficiency test for global migration as well as for education. We have a one-on-one speaking test for a real-life assessment of your language skills. We've got the pen and paper delivery as well as the computer delivered testing options available. Since 1989, IELTS has been creating opportunities for people around the world. IELTS can also get you to the top universities across the world. So I'm going to play a quick short video on an introduction to IELTS.
IELTS is the International English Language Testing System, the world's proven English language test. IELTS was one of the pioneers of 4 skills English language testing over 21 years ago and continues to set the standard for English language testing today.
I understand it is in collaboration by the University of Cambridge, one of the most prestigious universities in the world, so I have no doubt about its credibility.
IELTS is going to test all the 4 skills of language, so it gives an accurate measurement to someone's proficiency of English.
I needed an English qualification for my master degree, so I took the IELTS because it's like the passport to every institution.
Over 8,000 organisations and more than 2 million test takers around the world trust and recognise IELTS as a secure, valid and reliable indicator of true-to-life ability to communicate in English for education, immigration and professional accreditation.
The operations are the same in every single test center, every single testing location, for every single candidate.
Because it is a global standard, and any candidate who does an IELTS speaking test, it should be the same experience, the same rating, the same procedure, whether it's in Moscow or Brazil or Australia, whatever.
It's very professional procedures that I feel secure. People, they don't have mobiles and anything that they can use for illegal purposes.
We feel really confident that our paper is not going to be cheated, or this cannot be tampered or anything else.
When I came here, everything were very easy. I mean, people were very friendly and kind. I mean, they filled in all the information for me, and that's just where I can check it.
When I registered here in IELTS, they give us free 36 hours in road of IELTS.
It was actually really easy for me to find the test center I wanted to and the dates. There was lots of availabilities.
Uniquely, IELTS tests English conversation skills through a face-to-face speaking test, which means that candidates are assessed by having a conversation with a real person. This is the most effective and natural way of testing English conversation skills.
So when I compare it with other tests, I feel better with the speaking part, that I can speak with someone and not with a computer.
For candidates, IELTS is a true endorsement of their language ability and gives greater professional and academic mobility. More people go more places with IELTS.
Alright, so why do we say IELTS is the most popular English test for education and global migration? IELTS is now accepted and trusted by over 10,000 organizations worldwide. We had over 3.5 million test takers last year. So being the world's most popular English language test, the test reflects on how you will use English to study, work and live in an English speaking environment. IELTS is developed by some of the world's leading experts in language assessment, and it evaluates all of your English skills. So when I say all of your English skills, I mean reading, writing, listening and speaking. So IELTS assesses language skills. Let me be very clear. There is no specialist knowledge that is required. The topics that are covered are general enough for all test takers. IELTS is recognized and trusted by individuals and organizations worldwide because of its fairness, its reliability, and its high quality standards. So the IELTS ensures that test questions are extensively trialed with people from different cultures to confirm that they are appropriate and that they are fair to each and every one. We have over 1100 testing locations in 140 countries, 55 centers in India and 18 plus centers in South India alone. So as we are just getting out of the COVID pandemic, our testing has also resumed in a phased manner, ensuring all safety measures subject to government guidelines is being followed. My colleague will be sharing links in the chat box. Please do ensure that you are monitoring the chat box. These links might come in very handy. So he will be sharing a link which gives you the IELTS test dates that are available, the locations that are open as of now. So please use the same. Moving on, looking at the test format. So there are two variants of the IELTS test. We have the academic and the general training module. So the IELTS academic measures English language proficiency that is needed for an academic or a higher learning environment. This module would test general academic English and is to assess whether you are ready to study or train in English. The general training test, on the other hand, is taken by individuals who are looking to work, migrate, or planning to train or study below degree level in an English speaking environment. So the IELTS test has 4 modules in it. The reading and writing test is 60 minutes each. The listening test is for 30 minutes, where you get additional 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. And we have a speaking test for about 11 to 14 minutes with an examiner. So the two types of IELTS which I mentioned, the academic and the general training, listening and speaking is same for both the tests, but the subject matter of the reading and writing sections differ depending on which test you take. Excuse me. So you can see the overall composition of the test modules on your screens. We've got 4 steps. The first 3 happen consecutively one after the other. The speaking test may happen before or a day before or after your listening, reading and writing modules. So the entire test lasts for about 2 hours and 40 minutes. Moving on to understanding your IELTS results. Your IELTS results are reported on a 9-band scale which is mapped to the CEFR. The CEFR is nothing but the Common European Framework for Reference on which all English language proficiency tests are mapped onto. So the IELTS results are designed in such a way that there is no pass or fail when you attempt the IELTS test. If you score a 5-band, you are a modest user who has partial command of the language. If you are 8, you are a very good user who's got full operational command of the language. So these bands are very simple and easy to understand. You can always Google the IELTS 9-band scale for more information. My colleague has also shared a link in the chat box which will give you more in detail explanation on the band scores and how your IELTS scores are evaluated, etc. Going into the modules in detail, let's look at the listening test first. We have 30 minutes for the listening test and 10 minutes for the transfer of moving your answers from the answer sheet to the answer sheet. So the test comprises of 4 parts with 10 questions each. We've got a variety of native accents that are used, so you do not have to worry and focus on any one particular accent. Part 1 and 2 would deal with everyday social context, whereas part 3 and 4 would be more to do with your educational and training context. What will the assessors be looking for in your IELTS listening test is if you can understand the main ideas and detailed information that is played, the opinion and the attitude of the speaker if you're able to recognize, and if you're able to follow the development of ideas. That is all that you will be tested on your IELTS listening test. Moving on to the IELTS reading, this is for 60 minutes, 3 passages where you'll be tested over 40 questions. So there are absolutely authentic, non-specialist texts from journals, magazines, books and newspapers. They are very general and interesting topics which are appropriate and accessible to all test takers. Again, what are the assessors looking for is if you can understand the main ideas, the implied meaning, if you can understand the inferences, if you can recognize the writer's opinion and the purpose with which the passage has been written. Moving on to the IELTS writing test, when we look at the academic test first, there are 2 tasks. Task 1, you must be able to give a 150-word written response to describe, summarize or explain some visual information in the form of a graph, table, chart or diagrams using your own words. Task 1 is for 150 words. Task 2 on the other hand would require you to respond to a point of view or an argument or a problem. This is for 250 words. When we look at the writing model for the general GT model, task 1, you will be presented with the situation and you will have to write a letter requesting information or explaining the situation. The letter can be personal, formal or semi-formal in style for 150 words. Task 2, you will be asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument or a problem. Again, the essay can be fairly personal in style for 250 words. Coming on to the band descriptors. Now, band descriptors are what define the IELTS 9-band scale. So, understanding the band descriptors is very critical if you want to score the proper bands, if you're looking to migrate or you're looking to study abroad. So, for the IELTS writing tasks, we've got 4 band descriptors. When I say task response, what assessors will be looking for is if you can demonstrate developing and extending your ideas. That is, if you can fully answer the question. Coherence is if your ideas and information is logically organized, if they are properly sequenced, if paragraphs are used appropriately to organize your ideas and information. Cohesion is nothing but flow. This is how well your ideas flow from one to the next with seamless and logical transition. Lexical resource is to evaluate your vocabulary. What the examiners will be looking for is if you can use words appropriately in the right context and accurately with the correct meaning and grammar of the word. Grammatical range and accuracy is if you are able to use a variety of sentence structures, tenses, and other items to convey the intended meaning. It is your ability to use correct and precise grammar with control. So the link that was earlier shared by my colleague has all this information, so please use that link to get more clarity on the band descriptors as well. Looking at the IELTS speaking test, this is for about 11 to 14 minutes and it's got 3 parts. Part 1 of the test would focus on your ability to communicate opinion and information on everyday topics. This is by means of answering a range of questions. It's why it's called introduction and interview. Part 2 of the test would focus on your ability to speak at length on a given topic without the examiner giving you any further prompts. This is by using appropriate language and organizing your ideas coherently. This is called the individual long run. So you're given a topic and a minute or two to prepare, and then the examiner would ask questions at the end. Part 3 of the test would focus on your ability to express and justify opinions and to analyze, discuss and speculate about issues, which is why it is called a two-way discussion. Again, coming to band descriptors for the IELTS speaking test. When I say fluency, we are looking at your ability to keep speaking, or if you need to hesitate, self-correct and repeat yourself to keep going. Coherence is how coherent you sound, how your words, ideas and thoughts flow together using a range of words and phrases to connect and organize your ideas, which will help you to move on from one point to the other. A lexical resource is your ability to choose the right words and phrases to express yourself correctly. Grammatical range and accuracy will focus on your ability to produce speech that is both grammatically correct, using both simple as well as complex sentence structures. Pronunciation is just to understand or to assess how easy it is to understand what you want to say. You are assessed on the range of pronunciation features that you use, including stress, intonation, and rhythm. So now I have covered on the 4 modules of the IELTS test, the band descriptors for the IELTS. This was all about the pen and paper delivery model of the IELTS. Moving forward, apart from the conventional pen and paper delivery model, IELTS can also be taken at the ease of a computer by means of our computer delivered test. So I'm going to play a short video which will give you an introduction to the computer delivered IELTS testing. right, so that was a quick introduction on our computer delivered IELTS testing. So in South India, we have the computer delivered tests in Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Vijayawada, Cochin, and in Coimbatore. So if you think computer delivered IELTS is your way forward, then please look at our website and see the center closest to you and the test dates that are available. A few basic differences between the pen and paper IELTS delivery and the computer delivered IELTS test. When you're attempting the computer delivered IELTS test, you can attempt all four skills of the test on the same day. Your speaking test will happen on the same day, so that is one advantage that you have. Your results are definitely much quicker when you attempt the computer delivered IELTS test. You can look forward to your results within 3 to 5 days from the test. There is no transfer time when you are doing the listening test because your answers are directly marked on the computer screen. So these are the basic differences. We've got a lot of test date options that are available if you are again looking for the computer delivered IELTS test. We test the frequency of the tests are much more. So how do you prepare for the IELTS test with British Council? Once you register, we give you access to Road to IELTS, which is our expert online preparatory course. We also have our massive open online course, which is on understanding IELTS. We have a YouTube channel, Take IELTS, which has lots of videos which will help you improve your English skills and also practice for the IELTS speaking test. You can stay connected with us on our Facebook page where we post a lot of interactive quizzes, contests. We host a lot of live webinars, so that will definitely come in handy. My colleague has just shared another link in the chat box on preparatory resources with the British Council. We have apps of our own, which is available on the Google Store as well as the Play Store. The App Store, I mean. IELTS Prep app is the one of our most important apps where you can take a lot of listening and speaking practice tests to gauge how well prepared you are for the IELTS test. You can improve your grammatical skills and also work on your range of vocabulary using this app. Apart from this, we've got apps like Word Power, Word Ready, Learn English Grammar, and Johnny Grammar Word Challenge. So don't worry, these names of the names of these apps will also be posted in the chat box very soon. As I speak, it has already been done. So you can always make note of these apps and download them for free. So once you register and make payment with us, we give you access to a self-study program for IELTS preparation. You also get access to a 5-week self-study guide. We've got videos on familiarization and practice tests as well for computer delivered IELTS test. You can also understand about video call speaking. So now as we're getting out of the COVID pandemic, we have introduced video call speaking where the speaking test that you were earlier doing live with the examiner will now be done through a system. It will still be a face-to-face speaking test, but the examiner will appear through a remote system. We've also introduced IELTS Speak Ready, which is a mock speaking test. So the IELTS Speak Ready will not give you a score because that is what the real IELTS test is for. But you will get real-time feedback from the examiner on how well you are prepared for the IELTS speaking test. A lot of people have come out and asked us what are the safety measures that are being followed at our testing venues, especially now that we've started testing after the COVID pandemic. So I'm going to play the last video for today, which will demonstrate on the safety measures that are being followed at British Council testing venues. Alright, so that brings us to the end of the presentation. Now is the time to ask any queries, any doubts that you have on the IELTS test. This is the right time and we are the right people to help answer those doubts that you have on the IELTS test. So please feel free to unmute yourselves and ask us any questions that you have, or you can always post them in the chat box. My able colleagues are there as well. to answer your doubts. So please use this opportunity to ask us anything that you would like to. Questions or doubts, anyone? Ms. Lekha, I would request you to encourage your students to ask us anything that they want to. Maybe some of them are shy and do not want to ask us any questions, but if you can put in a word.
Sure, sir. Majority of our participants are in year two. We have already communicated to them. So please wait.
Great.
Sir, I just had a question. May I ask?
Yes, please.
Sir, can you explain the grade points to access IELTS in different nations? Like how many score I want to score for going to New Zealand or Canada, etc.
Okay, Nibin, see, every country has got a different requirement for the IELTS score. Whether you're looking to migrate or if you're looking to study, based on every country's laws, there are different IELTS scores that you need to get. So it is always better to check with the receiving organization on what is their requirement or what is their cutoff for the IELTS score. We will not be able to throw light on that. So it is always better, as I mentioned, to check with the receiving organization for the IELTS score that is required by them.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hello, good morning. Dear students,
Good morning, ma'am.
please ask your questions. I'm Dr. Nancy Joseph, Principal, St. Dominic's College, Kanjirapalli. That's it. Let me congratulate you and thank you for this beautiful session on IELTS coaching and the need to attend such a training program. And I think that our students are getting ready to ask certain questions. Within few minutes, they will raise some doubts. And please wait, sir. And on behalf of St. Dominic College family, I extend my sincere thanks to you. And my dear students, please make use of this opportunity to clarify your doubts. All of you have aspirations and ambitions to go abroad and pursue your studies there. And if you have any doubt, you can ask now. And we are planning to arrange some courses for you people, those who are interested in pursuing this coaching. Please be enthusiastic and clarify your doubts, making use of this opportunity. Thank you, Team British Council, for this wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. I see one hand raised. Avarna, do you want to ask us anything? I see your hand raised. Abby, would you please share the feedback link in the chat box before the candidates start leaving? Please participants, I would request you all to please take 1 minute of your time to fill the bit.ly link that has been shared in the chat box. This would help you stay connected with us directly, and we will share a lot of updates with you on what the British Council is doing in our work across the regions. So please take 1 minute of your time to fill this form. So, Principal Ma'am, if there are no more questions, we would.
Sir, may I ask?
Yes, please.
Sir, can you give some information about OET exams?
Unfortunately, I am not the right person to talk about OET. I can only give you information on the British Council IELTS.
Okay, sir. Um,
So then, if there are no more questions, we would like to end the session. If you all have any doubts in the future, please do reach out to Miss Lekha, and she can always get in touch with us, and we will be able to clarify your doubts on the IELTS test. So, Principal Ma'am, with your permission, we would like to end the session.
Please wait a little more. Somebody is trying to say something.
Students who are participating in YouTube, please listen. You can post your doubts there. We have opened the live chat and please post your doubts there. Those students who are participating through YouTube. Students who are participating through YouTube, please listen. If you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the chat box. And please fill the feedback link. Hello. Uh, Sir, one question. Copy and
Yes, please.
paste. Sir, I want to know that the duration of how much question by Anaka Manoj.
Duration of the IELTS. So, if I understand correctly, she wants to know on how long it will take to prepare. Is it?
I think so. It's not
So,
clarified there.
yeah.
So
So
she
let me explain the first bit of it at least as far as I understand. So to each its own. What I mean is there is no predefined preparatory time for the IELTS test. Please go to our website. The link that has been shared in the chat box on how to prepare for the IELTS test. You can take some of the mock tests. It will help you gauge how well prepared you are. For some, it might take a longer time. For some, it might take a lesser time to achieve the required band score. But please do attempt the mock tests or look at our apps where we've got practice tests or go to our YouTube channel. to see what the IELTS test is all about and understand about the band descriptors, based on all of which you will get idea as to how well prepared you are or where do you stand in terms of taking the IELTS test. There's one more question which says, how can we achieve IELTS exam? Again, I think this clarifies that as well. Is reading test also important in relation to communication in any way? Kartika, yes, all four modules of the IELTS test are equally important because you need to achieve an overall band score as well as individual band scores as well. So yes, of course, reading test is also important because when you read the reading passage and you are based on how well you are able to understand the meaning of the passage and answer questions accordingly. So yes. So these were a couple of questions that were there on YouTube. So I am looking at the YouTube link as well, and I have answered those questions that were there. So I don't see any more questions. So all right.
Dear students, please feel free to raise your doubts, seek clarifications. I think that, and I think most of you are very eager to pursue your studies abroad, and many of you have wonderful ambitions. If you want, you can ask, uh, you make questions regarding the possibilities of learning this course and how long it will be valid. Such things you can ask the trainer. Or make your comments and feedback, please. Uh,
So one more question from Kartika Krishnan. Hope you can see that.
yes, please.
Should we give importance to more traditional strict language rules or should we try to use more recent but formal type of language?
Okay, Kartika, see, there is no importance to, if I'm answering your question, if I understand your question correctly and I'm answering it right, there is please do not use any traditional accent. Don't focus on any particular accent. We need you to talk in the most natural way as possible. So please do not stress on any traditional language methods, or do not even try to stress on any formal type of language methods. Be natural as much as possible. We do not want any language influence because a lot of people have got some mother tongue influence, which we do not want to see particularly. So just be natural, and all that they're actually looking for is if you are able to convey the meaning, using the right grammar, the right sentence structures. Which is the toughest part in the IELTS exam and why is it so? I do not think I will be able to answer that because to each its own again. For some, writing is difficult. For some, speaking is difficult because they're not very confident to speak in front of an examiner when they're asked questions. So please, like I said, do visit our website and check what the IELTS writing test is about, because you have to write at length. Check what the speaking test is about because you have to again speak at length. Use our apps, look at the practice test on our website. You will get much more clarity on that. Kartika, you're welcome. I think I've answered all the questions on YouTube as well.
Yes, sir. Will you please say something about the package, the fee structure, etc.?
Yes, ma'am. So the IELTS test costs 14,000 rupees. That is all that we charge for the IELTS test. Everything else on our website is free content, so you can always look at that. And once you pay those 14,000 rupees, you get access to our preparatory material that I mentioned, like the Road to IELTS and the massive open online course on understanding IELTS. So the test fee is all that you need to pay. But if you're looking to do any other sorts of training, then you can always visit our website, or you can look at other training options as well.
Okay, thank you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity today. And I would really like to thank Ms. Lekha Francis as well. She has been coordinating with AB, and we've had a very good participation today. We saw around 220 plus participants on YouTube, and there were 75 plus here on Microsoft Teams as well. So that is a very good audience for us. We would like to do more sessions in future as well. So if you have any such training requirement, please do get in touch with Abby or with me. We would be more than willing to assist St. Dominic's College in any possible way.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I invite our student, Glory Elsa Matthew, to propose vote of thanks.
Good morning. First and foremost, it was my pleasure to attend this session. It was really engaging, creative, and clear. It gave us a brief on various courses in English language skills offered by British Council at affordable fees. And I'm sure that the courses offered will be helpful in career advancement and improving communication skills. Feeling gratitude and not expressing is like wrapping a present and not giving it. It's my privilege to propose vote of thanks on this occasion. I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to our resource person, Mr. Aditya Venkataraman, and his team for leading such a wonderful session. I am also grateful to our beloved principal, Dr. Ansi Joseph, for providing us this opportunity and for her valuable presence throughout the session. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the IQAC and the Department of English of St. Dominic's College for organizing this orientation session. I thank all those who work to make this orientation program a great success. Last but not the least, I thank each and everyone present in this webinar for your cooperation in making this program a resounding success. Once again, I thank you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Disperse. The meeting is dispersed. പറഞ്ഞ മോളെ
The rest of the questions, will be communicated through email. And thank you so much, Team British Council. We are thankful to our management also for helping us to organize such a program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Lekha.
So let us disperse.
Thank you. So we are ending the session now. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. Here now. Okay. And പോയില്ലേ last side. Okay. Yes, congratulations. ശൈലേ വിചാരിച്ച പിള്ളേര് വന്നില്ല.